Welcome to this edition of Soul of Warren County. I'm your host, Mickey Gwynn. We have in the studio with us today our friends from Young Men United. We're going to talk about upcoming events to include the Juneteenth celebration, and we're also going to talk about last year's Centennial celebration honoring Bernard School. I'd like to introduce on my far right the president of Young Men United, Don D.C. Chris, and on my near right, Ella Richmond, the vice president of Young Men United. Now, for those folks that may not know what Young Men United is, what your mission is, what's the mission of Young Men United, Don?
Well, our mission and statement is building character for life, which is every man, woman's outlook on life. That's our mission statement, and my main purpose is working with the youth, trying to help them out, steer them in the right direction.
And y'all been together since what, early 2000s?
It actually originated November the 1st of 1998.
Oh, 98, okay.
Yeah, I joined in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know y'all been doing good things for the community for a long time, and what y'all have done down at Bernard Gym is very commendable, and sort of brings us to last year in the Centennial celebration for Bernard School. Couldn't have done it without Young Men United, and I said from the very beginning, Ella can contest to that it needs to be at Bernard School. I mean, we're going to do a Centennial for the school. It needs to be at the gym, and this young lady got about 300 or so people in that gym, and she kept me from going over the edge as we were getting things together, because we started out, and believe it or not, I think at our first meeting we were planning for 75. I think we said if we get 75 people to come out and enjoy the formal dinner, which was one that we were really concerned about. I said, well, if we get 75 people to come out, I think we'll be doing good. And we ended up with over 300 people, and we got them in there comfortably. Thanks to the AC system that y'all put in, that definitely helped. But it was really nice events, and one of those few events that I've been a part of that I don't remember anybody saying anything negative about anything.
No.
You know, there wasn't no, you could have done this or you could have done that. Seemed like everybody really had a good time. I think we had a different events that people could do different things. We had the formal dinner. And everybody sort of got dressed up and showed off their best. We had the meet and greet where everybody was sort of, more casual. And seeing old friends and things. And then we had the historical marker dedication, and we had some dignitaries there, the state representative, people of that nature. So we had a really well-rounded event for that weekend. And I don't know, y'all may know better than I do, because I was gone for a while, but I don't know of any other event that's been that well supported and that well attended in a long time. I don't know I'm trying to think of what maybe it would have been, but
I don't remember any either that's been supported as much as the support that we've got last year. And that is speaking volume to me, because we have been supported from day one as far as with Young Men United, and then bringing that on board with our Bernard celebration. That just brought the community together.
Agreed.
And so that was a big point for not only for Young Men United, but for McMinnville itself.
Yeah. And I had so many people come up to me and talk about what y'all had done in the gym. We had some pictures on the TVs there of what the gym looked like when the city water department moved out. And as I tell people, when I first walked in, I remember that one Saturday we had a meeting for the museum staff, and Don came up there and I said, well, can we just go take a look at the gym? And when he opened the door and I walked in, it hurt to my heart. I mean, I just didn't expect the gym to look that bad. And to see what y'all have done today, it's just been almost like a miracle that y'all been able to go in and get the gym back to where we could have that celebration down there. And the only thing that worries me was the fact that everybody kept asking, when you gonna do another one?
Right.
I'm like, you just don't know. We've been meeting for a year now. But I think it would be good to do something. I think we just need to figure out a time frame, just like a few people said, we ain't getting no younger, and I understand that. but it's a little bit easier when you just got to show up versus you got to put all this stuff together.
I'll put it together. That's it.
But I think it's something we probably need to do down the road.
I think so. I think within 5 years. I think we need to have another plan within 5 years.
That's sort of what I was thinking. Maybe a 5-year time frame. Give everybody time to sort of think about what we want to do at that point, and not make it so novel that you're doing something every year and you get tired of it. I think
Right.
that 5 year would be a
But
good
5
time
years
too.
would be a great
Yeah,
plan.
Think so too. Think so too. We're talking about events that y'all have scheduled. We're talking about Juneteenth, and for folks who don't know what Juneteenth stands for, that was June 19th, 1865, when slaves in Texas finally got the word that they were free. And it's been celebrated for many years since then. But it seems like over the last maybe 10 years is when it really has taken off. And it's really become really big events. And I know this year y'all got plans for some entertainment and the booths and things of that nature. So tell us about the plans for Juneteenth.
Okay, for our Juneteenth celebration this year, of course, we're going to have music. It seems like last year we had a good turnout, but it was like after the entertainment part was over with, like the play that was put on, everybody started to leave. So my mindset this year is let's keep everybody together as long as we can. We're going to start it an hour later and extend an hour earlier and an hour later. So if we can have something within itself like entertainment that morning, entertainment that afternoon, and it's not going to be a big gap between, everybody will stay there the whole time. So our entertainment that morning would be our saxophone player that was there through our Bernard celebration.
Yeah, and if you weren't at the Bernard celebration, you need to come see this young man. He had the gym rocking that night.
Yes. And since that celebration last year, I think he's got 4 or 5 different occasions events that he's had to do just by being there that night. Because he's really he's good in his entertainment, what he does. So within that, he'll be there from 12:30 to 2. We'll have a break, and then at 3 o'clock, we will have a band out of Nashville. It's called Melody and Harmony, and they'll be there from 3 to 5. Then, of course, the event ends at 6. We say it ends at 6. If everybody wants to stay to 7 or 8, we'll be there to 7 or 8. We would do, and we have to understand what Juneteenth is about. It's just not a barbecue in the backyard and let's go home. It's about the celebration of it. When we understand what it's about and know the true meaning of it, then we should celebrate it to that extent.
So a little bit of celebrate and educate.
And educate at the same time. Of course, we will have booths there. We will have food booths there. Matter of fact, I've got 2 or 3 that's already picked up applications. I had one even turned in today before I came here. So everybody's getting excited about it now. But when we understand the history of it, that's my whole thing. I will have different pamphlets set up around the whole inside the gym about the history of it so everybody can understand this is why we're doing this. We can learn from our history.
Sure.
Accept our mistakes and move on. That's just my thought on it.
Yeah, and being that I'm part of the museum leadership there too, that's always been my thing too, is history. That old saying, if you don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So I think it's very important that you learn, and Don said a very big thing about trying to sort of mentor the youth. That to me has become more and more important these days as technology and social media and those kind of things have taken off. We see so many situations, some of these mass shootings and things of that nature, and you go out and find out that these people have, social media pages where they basically told people what they were going to do, kind of thing and stuff like that. So I know that's more of a challenge today than it probably ever has been in our generations. I mean, we didn't have that kind of stuff back.
No.
You back in my day as far as social media and stuff of that nature. So I know that takes a big part of what y'all do. And you said you're going to have the booths.
Yes.
And you also mentioned about sponsorship this year.
Sponsorship this year, it came to mind because Young Men United is funded through grants and donations. So I came to the thought of, let's try not to take anything out of our treasure. Let's see if we can get people to help sponsor, and especially the entertainment part of it, with us having 2 groups there, you know, all day long. So I got out and I started asking people to sponsor. No dollar amount, whatever you can give, you know, that, and just as long as we get the entertainment covered, we can handle the rest of it. And sponsorship, so far I've worked and just about got it all completely covered.
Oh, wow.
I set a budget for what I wanted to do and just about met that budget. So during your sponsorship, I will have the yard signs made up with your name on it. I'm a sponsor of Young Men United Entertainment. I was going to put the year, but if you're going to be a sponsor again next year, we don't want to put a year on it so we can use it over and over again. So, and your name will be called out during the day, all day long. You'll be mentioned, whether it's business, personal, or whatever it would be. And we know we want everybody to understand that we as a community, we appreciate each other.
So it can be an individual or it can be
A business.
A business. Okay. All right. And this is something that you mentioned about the yard signs and not putting the dates on. So this is something you're probably looking at trying to do every year?
Every year, yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're going to have the big tent set up
The
and
big
everything
tent,
so people can get under there.
The
if it
big
gets a little
tent will be
warm.
set up. That was included in my budget for this. And like I said again, we've got shirts. My shirts is going to be included in my budget that I set. So it's going to be a budget that we can use, and it'll already pay for itself to bring money back into Young Men United, because our goal is to complete our educational room for our children with computers. We've already got the tables and the chairs, the TV. So we're working on the computers now. So we want all that to be ready, hopefully before summer's over with, if a child needs tutoring during the summer. And then as they start back into school, if we need someone to come over and help tutor them during their classes that they need help with, we'll have everything already ready and set up for them to do.
So this is what you're doing down in the basement of the gym. I knew y'all were going down and remodeling that area. This is for your educational room and stuff.
Now the educational room is going to be, part of it's going to be right across from our conference room up there.
Oh, okay.
That's where
okay.
we've got the TV, and we're going to have the computer set up in there. And then, as Don said, downstairs, it will be a TV set up down there if we get so many that we can move some of them down there for educational, exercise room, and all that kind of stuff too.
I'll tell you something I really like to put out while we're here talking about the place over there, the center. I would reach out to the community. This lady gave us a really nice piano. It was her mother's, and of course we got it. So anybody out in the community, if you are like a teacher, if we got somebody that can teach the kids how to play that piano, and they want to donate some time to come over and work with some of the kids that might want to learn how to play a piano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was talking about the basement area. I knew y'all were doing some work down there. So what sort of is your vision? Is that going to be more of a place where kids can come and play games, pool, or is it going to be something different?
It's going to be really kids and adults, because we're now putting in weight machines and stuff down there for most, like for the adults mostly, and we're looking for a treadmill. If somebody had, because you know how people make these resolutions at the beginning, they go buy a treadmill, and 6 months down the road they use to hang clothes on. So we want something like that. But yeah, we got pool tables down there, we got video games, so it's basically going to be for the kids and the elderly.
Okay. And I know during the basketball season, y'all were sort of renting out the gym floor for teams to practice and stuff like that?
For practice, the JCs used it, different individual teams, used it also. And yes, we do rent the gym out. It's $50 an hour, for the rental. But if it has to do with the children, mainly from school and want to practice, we do give a cut on the rental of that. When they come and practice for an hour. Yes, we do.
And y'all have a lot of stuff going. I mean, I see the different events. I think there was a Mother's Day event.
Yes, we have a Mother's Day dinner banquet this Saturday. We will have serve dinner, and we will be giving out roses for the mothers and just community events. Just want to unity. And we need to understand that there will be not only the Mother's Day, we're going to work on something for the kids before they go back to school to have a big school day. We got a cornhole tournament coming up in June. And I will say to everyone, if you didn't attend our black tie affair last year, get ready and attend it this year because it's going to be another black tie affair, and it will be great again this year.
And that's one thing that I've noticed about the events that y'all have. Y'all have a variety of stuff. You know, it's not just, well, it's almost like from the fish fry to a black tie event. I mean, y'all do the whole gambit of stuff there at the gym, which I think is a good thing too. It's always been my thoughts, and I may be wrong, but I really believe if y'all hadn't stepped in, I don't think the gym would be there today. That's Mickey
right.
Gwen talking. I may be completely wrong, but I just don't think it would have been there. And to me, that's the last little piece of that Bernard campus that's still around. And we sort of use that as a landmark when people come in and they talk about the old neighborhood kind of thing. That's one of the first places I mentioned is, the Bernard Gym is really that last piece that's still down there. And y'all really done a good job in doing that. So do you plan out events throughout the year? Do you sort of go and sit down and look and say, well, what can we do throughout the entire year?
We started planning out, for a year, and when we kind of broke it down, okay, let's do this, this, and this, like months at a time, like I said. And then we do, of course, we do our back to school in August. In September, we do the roadblock. October, we do the roadblock. September, we do the roadblock. And then in October last year, we was at the Autumn Street Fair. And then we do a big Christmas, we do a Thanksgiving dinner, we do a veteran dinner, and then we do a Christmas dinner. Last year, we done Christmas. We had 5 families that we picked last year. Bought clothes for the older children that needed clothes, bought toys for the younger children. And again, this is things that these are different events that we have. We ask that everybody come out and sponsor us because we put the money right back into our children. We turn it right back around and put it into these different events that we have.
Have you noticed a pretty good need for the stuff like the back to school? I know you do the backpacks and all. Have y'all found that there's really a need for that?
There's a need.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize that sometimes. They think, well, I'm doing okay and I can get my kids whatever they need. I don't think a lot of people realize there are a lot of families that can't do that.
They can't do that.
They sort of depend on events like you have to get backpacks and school supplies and things of that nature.
We even bought shoes for children last year, everything.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And also, a lot of people don't realize that far as lunch and eating lunch, during the summer, some of these kids don't eat regular. Like when they're not in school where they get a regular lunch every day. So during the summer, some of them don't get to eat regular.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that.
And we understand that, the government has put out the little food cards for some of them back during the summertime that they can, the parents can go out and buy food. But the point is, even though they've got that card, is the child still eating?
Right.
If my plan for me is that once I get retired from working at Shoe Sensation, my plan is to be there at the gym, have an open gym. It may be 3 hours a day, it may be 4 hours a day. And if a child, especially in the summertime, if we can feed a child, if we can give them a hot dog and a bag of chips, that's going to be something that they didn't have. That's the plan. That's my plan. I don't know what everybody else's plan is, but that's my plan because I feel like that we say that we're there for the kids. Let's support the kids. Let's be there. If we're going to talk the talk, then we're going to have to walk the walk. So if we say that we're going to be there for the kids, let's be there for the kids. Let's support our kids because somewhere down the line, somebody supported us.
Right. Yeah.
And this generation is coming up now. We got to get it. We got to get them now. If not, we're going to lose them. So let's give them some background of saying, "Hey, I remember going to the gym, Young Men United's gym over at Bernard Gym. When they get 30 and 40, I remember eating mini meals over there. You know, there was people over there that supported me, that believed in me. Because there's so many children at home that don't get that now. And they've got to have somebody to believe in. And that's what we're about.
You know, back in our day, you know, Coach Dalton used to open the gym in the summer, you know, that when we had the pool, of course, you know, and that kind of thing. Do you think there's like a need for something like that in the summertime you know, are there any plans maybe open the gym in the evening when school is out for the kids to come over? Yeah.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Okay.
When I get retired, that's the plan.
I had you know, we now sponsor this community service program where,
Right.
you know, the kids get in a little trouble at school or whatever, and they've been coming over. They've been a great help for us, helping us with things and that we're doing over there. But I know last week someone was over there and they was down there in the basement shooting pool and stuff, and they said, "Hey," said, "Can we come over here without being in trouble?" I said, "Sure, man. You don't have to go get in trouble to come over here, so you can come." I said, "No, man." I said, "You know, we have fish fries and stuff, and if you just want to volunteer and come help us or just come hang out," I said, "You know, no, we're open for everybody." You know?
Yeah. And I think that's probably a message that doesn't get out well enough, is the fact that you are open for everybody. This is not just a black thing.
This is not a black
for
thing.
the black kids or whatever. And I've seen that, and you know, we've seen that as we've had events. It's very well attended by, you know, all the cultures that are in Warren County. So I think people need to realize that. And as I say, when we were growing up, you know, going to the gym in the summertime was just like part of our life. I mean, you know, we'd wait for Coach to come over. You know, sometimes he'd have a softball game, he'd be running a little late, and we'd be running behind his car to the gym waiting for him to unlock the gym and stuff, you know. So, and it gives you a place that I think, you know, especially during our time, our parents didn't have a problem. They knew we were okay. They knew we were safe. You weren't going somewhere that you had to worry about somebody getting, you know, shot or whatever. You know, it was a very, very safe place to go, and everybody had a good time playing. I mean, we played inside and out, you know, basketball in the gym and kickball out on the blacktop. You know, we played all around this. So it'd be nice to see that. I'm glad y'all thinking about doing something like that. But now you got to remember, you're talking about retirement. Now you talk about being over that gym you gonna burn yourself out. Now you gotta realize that. Now you will be retired at that point. But I think it's good that somebody who is thinking about retirement is thinking about helping. You know, there's a lot of people who think about retiring and they go, you know, get a 6-pack of Coke and a bag of chips and sit on the sofa all their life, and then, you know, wonder why their retirement years aren't that great.
Right.
So it's always good to hear about wanting to do something, especially for the youth. You know, I think we need to do all we can to try to help our young people. They're our future. You know,
They're our future. That's it. That's the whole thing. They are our future. And if, like I said earlier, if we don't get a hold of them now, we're going to lose them. Because there's too much out there it's too much noise in their head. It's too much noise in their head. And I just feel like Young Men United, and not only Young Men United, the community, even down to the museum up there, that's something that they can look forward to going to. I would like eventually to, you know, get us a van that we can pick children up where the parents is going to go to work and they don't have a way to come up there. We can make a run and pick them up, bring them up there, entertain them for the day, or, you know, parents pick them up after they get off from work or whatever. This is where we have to come together as a community. And again, it ain't just for black kids. That's not what it's about. It's for everyone, and that's really we need the support of the community.
Right.
That's the whole reason.
And I think that something just popped in my head as you were saying that would be good. Maybe one of those days, put the kids in the van and bring them to the museum and let them go through the museum. And I think the good thing about the museum is there's people in there that we all know. You know, it's not like a lot of the museums that you read about people in books and stuff, and you'll see a picture. These are actually people that are relatives and kinfolk and things of that nature, so they'll be able to come in and do that. So yeah, maybe we can work on something like that to, if we get that in place, to have them come by the museum during the summer for a day or so and tour the museum too. So I know, good thing, good. Y'all have always been doing real good things for the community, and y'all have a very active slate of events. Just real quickly, I noticed y'all also are doing recognition. I mean, I saw where you recognized the athletes of the year, I think, the other day, and I know you did the scholarships and stuff.
We've done the scholarships. This is the third year consecutive that we've done the scholarships. And you would be surprised how many has said, thank you.
Good.
You know, this bought my books, thank you. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah, well-rounded. Like I say, having some place for kids to go and you know, constructively use their time, but also giving back and recognizing those folks. Y'all are doing really good stuff. Glad to be part of the partnership with Young Men United. And thank y'all for coming in today.
All right. Thanks for
I know
having
y'all
us.
always have an open invitation on Soul of Warren County.
All righty.
All right. See everybody at Juneteenth.
All right.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us for the next edition of Soul of Warren County. And until then, make today and every day a great day.